Yo everyone, welcome to Amps, Pedals and Pickups. We're going to be continuing our month long of amp sim reviews. Today we're going to be checking out STL Middleton. Of course, this is the signature amp sim of Josh Middleton, guitarist of Silosis, as well as ex-guitarist of Architects. The man absolutely knows what he's doing in the guitar world. Now, I started strong the other day with Neural DSP Soldano. It's just been one of the ones that I've been using. I'm going to start double strong. We're doubling up here with STL Middleton. I use this one a lot. Out of all the tonalities that I have access to, I use Middleton the most. And I really think that the STL tone sound inside of Amp Hub as well as tonalities just really lends itself well to 5150 style amps. And you've got the Triple X here, you've got a 5150 block letter, you also got a Mesa Boogie, dual rectifier. But in my opinion, that dual rectifier is a little bit 5150ified, if that makes sense. So it just makes it sound better, just a little bit cuts at that low end. I'm going to check all that stuff out. It almost sounds like I'm wrapping up the plugin review. Just setting you up for success here, just telling you what's about to come. But anyway, there's 3 amps in this one. There's a bunch of cabs, a few stomp pedals, as well as the signature Tempest pedal. So there's quite a lot to go through here. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's see how STL Tonality, Josh Middleton holds up inside of a mix. And then we'll do a plugin walkthrough and all that stuff. Alright, so today I'm going to be using the Kiesel Kyber that I recently just got here, still putting it through all its paces. The pickups are fairly modern for my taste, I'm just getting used to it. It does mean dialing in amp sims a little bit differently, but that's okay. It's all just a a growing and learning process. Anyway, let's check out the amp sim. So I've just fired it up. This is the absolute default settings. I'm just going to change this to mono stereo. I'm going to increase the gate. I know it goes about there. Default sound out of the box. Let's see how they've tuned this one. Man, just the gain structure and everything underneath it, really, really awesome stuff. And again, I really have come around to appreciating being able to fire up an amp sim and really not have to do anything. I just want to play guitar and have a good time. Let's check it all out. We'll start off with the presets. There's tons of presets here. I've made a couple of my own, but yep, you can see all the different ones there. I'm just going to leave it on the preset that we had there. Now the routing up the top there, you can have mono or mono stereo. Mono stereo, when I chuck on a delay, it's going to do the ping pong thing, so I'm going to leave it there. And if I wanted to process stereo tracks feeding into this on a bus, then I would choose stereo. You got your profile, all your information up there. The 3 different amps. So we're going to stick with the block letter for a little bit, but then we've got the XXX and the dual rec. Then on the input panel, you got your high gain input, your normal gain. You can flick the channels there to the clean and crunch if you want to do that kind of thing. Then obviously you have your tone stack there. Now down the bottom, you've got your input gain. You can mess with the auto gain section if you go into there and just follow the prompts and everything. Noise gate, tuner. We'll check out the stomp boxes. So we've got a compressor there, pitch pedal, 2 different overdrives, 2 different amp sims, 2 days, 2 different overdrives per amp sim. So this is it's typical TubeScreamer, and then this is the Tempest pedal. Then in the cab section, you got a few different cabs there. You got a couple Mesa cabs, 2000, 2001. There's also a British cab. I just go out on a limb and say it's a Marshall. I'd really need to check the manual. I don't really touch the IRs with this stuff. Mess around with it a little bit here, but I just like the sound out of it. Just the default sounds are really, really good. So yeah, you can mess with all that stuff, mess with the blend and everything. Then in the effects section, we've got an equalizer pedal, and I'll be honest, pretty daunting stuff there to look at all those knobs from like a guitarist point of view, some sort of parametric EQ. Then obviously we have delay and reverb there. A little bit easier to manage with those dials. But let's check out some of the stomp boxes. We'll leave it on the block letter. Let's flick on the Tempest, and I'll chuck a photo of that up on screen so you can see what it looks like. So default settings. So even at its most basic, it's definitely like cutting out heaps of the low end. I don't really need to add like level or drive to it. Maybe just a kiss. Now these pickups here naturally don't have heaps of low end. So if you had more traditional pickups, there might be a lot of low end, especially if you're playing in lower tunings. You know how much build up there is there. So this high pass just really helps get rid of that at this stage of the signal chain. Like I said, I don't need it for this sort of setup because it's already pretty nice and bright. But then the opposite, the low pass is just like taming off that high end. Maybe I'll just do that, maybe a little bit. Alright, scrap that idea. I've just flicked it over to the crunch channel. These are the settings that I'm using. I've turned off the boost pedal, so it's just the just the amp doing all its work. You can see there. I've also flicked it down to the normal gain. Man, I kind of hate myself for playing this like unironically on this channel, but anyway. I don't have the boomer hand. I don't have the rhythm going on. There's something to practice, but I just get triggered to like guitar shop days. Anyway, I'm on a tangent. I will learn some boomer stuff. I'm gonna get some redemption on this. All right, so flicked over to the Mesa Boogie triple rectifier. I guarantee you, nobody in Australia says Mesa, so every time my brain has to do like a small calculation to say that word, Mesa Boogie, because I know I'll get crucified for it, but I flicked on the typical TubeScreamer, those settings, and this is what it sounds like when you select it. Nice and fat, but it just needs brightening up. All right, so I actually switched over the drive pedals. I've gone from the TubeScreamer to the Tempest. I dialed in the high and low pass just to what sounds right to my ears. Now, I can't actually listen to this in proper context. That's why I need to go back and listen to things in the mix. Whenever I'm messing around with amp sims, I just want to be in the moment, playing guitar. At the end of the day, I'm recording DIs. If I need to go back and mix and match things, I'll do that. So it might be a little bit bright now. I'll just need to know in post. I'll put my thoughts up on the screen what I think, but it sounded good to me in the room now, you know. See what I mean? If you've used rectifiers before, even in amp sims or in real life, they typically have like a lot of low end, very, very bloaty. This definitely, to me, has a 5150 DNA, which is just something that the STL Tonality and Amp Hub amps sort of have, and I really, really like it, because a lot of the times I'm trying to get a dual rectifier to sound like this. This might be like a touch to 5150, but we can bring it down and get that low end back. Like, we're shaving the heck out of it with the drive pedal and everything, but I don't care. I like how it sounds. You know, a lot of the time I have that smooth California 90s, 2000s sort of punk sound in my head. And the first time I turned on the rectifier, I was like, whoa, we're going to have to fix this thing. Because, yeah, just in my head, you know, the records all had that sort of sound. And I think I can achieve that a lot easier in the STL rectifiers than I can in other rectifier sims. Right, so there's heaps of different modes you can get on the Mesa Boogie multi-watt here, but I've got on a clean channel. On the Kyber, I've got the push-pull engaged, or the pull, I should say. Got the neck pickup engaged, just for some like cleany sort of stuff with the compressor and delay, reverb pedal, you know, the kind of stuff there. I'll finish things out here on the Peavey XXX. Man, some of these amps have so many different modes. I don't want to make like 30-minute amp sim videos for everything, because it just seems like people aren't that into it. I just kind of want to give you a top-down view of everything. But look at the different dampening options you have there, the different channels you have there. I'm just going to go through the presets. I've gone amp 2, rhythm 1. Let's take a listen to this. Too much mids for me. Not bad. Best so far. Yeah, let's do this. We can spent heaps of time recording on this. I don't want to say how long I've spent, but I'm not going to be able to do this amp justice. But the Peavey XXX is definitely a cousin of the 5150, so you can definitely pull different tones. But with all the different dampening options and a few other things, almost a bit of a simpler approach, like simpler tone stack and everything. Heaps to mess around with. If you like this plugin, definitely do a trial for it. It's, in my opinion, one of the better STL Tonality plugins. So we have it. That's STL Tonality Josh Middleton. I really like that one. Now down to my scoring. What did I give it? For sound quality, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Tone variety, 7 out of 10. Extra features, 8 out of 10. UI, 8 out of 10. And speed to sound good, we're going to kick that up to 9 out of 10. So definitely a very, very good amp sim, in my opinion, from STL Tones. Now the price for this one is $149 US, but like every plugin company under the sun, they do specials, Black Friday deals, all that kind of thing. So, you know, check around, see what time of year they do deals. They're definitely out there. Now, all these videos, I mentioned whether I got like a free code, if it's a trial, if I bought it. For this one, I did get a free code because I'm an STL Tones beta tester. However, I have recommended this one to a lot of people, and if I was going to buy one myself, this would probably be the one to get. I really like everything out of the Middleton plugin. So yeah, that's pretty much it here for this one. If you want to stay up to date with my month-long amp sim reviews, make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you want to talk trash in Discord, I'll leave all the links to the Discord servers below. And yeah, if you have any questions about Middleton, let me know in the comments. Any other amp sims, just let me know. I'm around, you know what I mean? As always, if you stuck around to the end of the video, you're a legend, and I'll leave you on this Midtown riff that I just dug up.